Ready or not, summer is coming, and Wayfair's Memorial Day clearance is on now. Right now through May 25th, get up to 70% off everything home at Wayfair. Plus, score amazing doorbuster deals all sale long and surprise flash deals on Memorial Day. We're talking thousands of products at every style and budget. Now is the time to save big on must-haves for your patio, backyard, and beyond. These savings won't last, so don't wait. Shop Wayfair's Memorial Day clearance now through May 25th.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
It's time for the Larry H. Miller Utah Summer Games at Southern Utah University in Cedar City. Register today to participate in the 40th anniversary season of a Utah sports tradition at utahsummergames.org. Participate in over 50 sports around the state. Then plan to join the opening ceremonies Friday, June 5th, presented by State Bank of Southern Utah. Register today to participate in the 40th anniversary season of the Larry H. Miller Utah Summer Games.
DJ and PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. 2 games in the books in the Western Conference Finals. You want to, after having watched these 2 games, you want to say anything for sure right now other than I thought it was going to be a long series, and it looks like it's going to be a long series?
Well, the thing that I was impressed with these Thunder is he came out far more aggressively, far more emotional. Holmgren, who was a complete and total non-factor relative to his skill level, in game 1, you could see, okay, that's not going to happen again. And that's fine. Things happen. But, like, he had a little fake along the baseline and went and dunked it and got fouled. And, you know, you would have thought it was the game-clinching basket in the Game 7 of the finals. But that's okay. I want to see more emotion. I want to see more passion. Don't be passive. Now, you just can't be emotional. You got to be good, too. And their 2 best players, obviously SGA being the other, played substantially better, and they're going to go as far as those 2 take them. They've got some very nice role players. Caruso had another good game. I get that. But I can make the case, okay, he had a great game in game 1. They still lost because you need SGA and you need Holmgren to do his thing. And I thought Hartenstein, as they call him back there, he asserted himself. Push him. Push Wembanyama. Mess him up. Rough him up. If they call it, then adjust. But if they don't call it, try to knock him off this game. That's part of the deal. And, you know, you may be getting close to the line of the rules, but so what? That's up to the referees to enforce the rules, not you. And so I just like the way they play. They're a lot more aggressive. Now, they did not blow them out. It seemed like every time they were 2 things that I liked about that, the aggressiveness, and every time they seemed like they were about ready to knock out the Spurs got it back into a possession or 2, and then the Thunder got some more breathing room, so they kept answering. It was a boxing match in a sense.
It went from 3 to 11 so many times.
Yeah.
Oh, they're up 10 again. Oh, they're only up 4.
Right.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And so I like that. And they got threatened multiple times, and you could argue, well, San Antonio, me, I don't buy the house money, but you know, the mission was to get a game in Oklahoma. You needed to get a game in order to win the series. They did that. That doesn't necessarily mean they're going to win, but mindset-wise, they had a little bit of an advantage there. Could be a little looser because the pressure clearly was on the Thunder, and they answered the call. And so I'm expecting, like I did with Cleveland and Detroit, flip a coin. See who's playing better on each individual game, and that's probably going to determine the winner. And if you play well or better than the opponent 4 times, you win.
I thought it was really good that Oklahoma City went away from that, hey, let's put a little – Wemby's bigger than everybody, so let's put a little guy on him and then have our other bigs match up and make these other guys play against bigger players. And I also thought the way they deployed the 2 big guys, Heart, as you like to say, is he's just so – reminds me of Steven Adams, you know, just big, thick, physical guy. And so lean into that with Wemby a little bit and beat him up. Now, in the next game, it may not work as well. Wemby only got to shoot 2 free throws. And I think he had 3 field goals in the paint instead of 10. So it definitely worked. And I thought the fact that they got Holmgren on the floor when Wemby sat, that allowed Holmgren to use his size, length, athletic ability, attack the hoop, get dunks, whatever, when Wemby was out of the game. Make use of those, 9 minutes he sat. And they did. I thought that was good. That was savvy. I am curious, is Caruso just going to have an awesome series? Because you're coming off the bench, you think, okay, he has, 2 great games, 2 pretty good games, but maybe a couple of clunkers, in a 6-game series. Wow. The overall numbers weren't as good, but they were getting shots for Holmgren and Hartenstein that they weren't getting in the first game. Caruso scored 17 points on only 7 shots. Well done. Very efficient. When you got your opportunities, you took them.
He's a trusted player.
Yes, 100%.
And those types of guys are valuable. They're not stars, but every team needs them.
Right.
You can go down the list, whether whoever it might be from way back when. I guess they say John Havlicek was the sixth man back in the 60s, a little bit before I can remember, but I've certainly read up on it. And you need those types of players. And Daigneault can trust Caruso, and there's something to be said for that. And so right now, the series literally is even, and I also think, in my mind, going forward, it still is even. Who's going to win? Don't know.
And if it's even after 2 games in San Antonio, I'm not going to be surprised.
Yeah, and it's going to come down to who is playing better on a given night, and you've got to play better than 4 times. I feel like Cleveland, it was a devastating loss in the manner in which it was accomplished for New York. But it's one of those things where I can remember talking in the locker room, and the Jazz had a comeback. It was in the 90s, and I don't even remember who they were playing. And it was improbable that they came back, but they did, and they won the game. And talking to the guys afterward, it's like everything had to go right for you, and everything had to go wrong for the other guy. And sometimes that happens. And so if I'm Cleveland, that's the way I'm approaching that game. Well, I got to put it behind me, but I don't think it has the potential to be devastating. And wasn't it, who was it? Roy McIlroy. Didn't he? You can look this up if I think I'm right. His Masters years ago when he was a younger kid, he blows up and shoots like an 80. And, it's going to be such ramification and blah, blah, blah. And then I think he went out and won the U.S. Open. The very next thing.
Just shake it off.
Because they didn't have the PGA in between back then.
Yeah, so he had 2 months.
Yeah.
But the point is, sometimes stuff happens and people shake it off.
Right.
And sometimes stuff happens and it impacts them for a long time. And we all try to predict when something happens like that, how it's going to play out, but we don't really know. And he shook it off.
Right. And so I'm not going to be burying Cleveland by any stretch because they were right there. They played so well for so long, and then things went against them and things went for the Knicks. All right, way to go, Knicks. But asking Shamet to hit 2 big threes again and one that bounces around multiple times, I don't know that he can do that. So I'm not so worried about the Cavs psychologically because I don't think there's a big difference there between these 2 teams. They got to get a handle on Brunson. Brunson is the most improbable good to great small player in league history since Tiny Archibald.
So you're jumping over, and I'm just going to list all the 6-foot guards out there.
Well, not that many. Isaiah and Stockton.
Steve Nash.
I think Steve Nash was a tad bit bigger.
He might have been 6'2".
Yeah. But you can put him in there. But Nash never did any, and same thing with Stockton.
Gary Payton.
Payton was about 6'4", I think, and he's a ball hawk. But Brunson shouldn't be doing the things that he's doing, but yet he does them, and it's amazing. Good on the young man to watch him play. Undersized. I think being left-handed helps him. But the thing about being undersized, you always hear of these guys, he grew 7 inches between his junior and senior year. Mm-hmm. Well, the short guys, they don't do that.
No.
So he's always been undersized, and he was undersized in high school, and he probably had to be crafty in high school. And when he went to Villanova, he had to be crafty. And then he faced long odds in the NBA. So he's always had to do these things. In order for him to be successful, he had to use all these shake and bakes and moves and fakes and all these types of things to get himself into position. So he's probably practiced those things 1,000 times, if not 20,000 times. And so this is his lot in life, and it's the way he's going to be successful. And good on Thibodeau did it last year, and now Mike Brown allowing him and his teammates, as Dave Rose once said when I was complimenting Jimmer, Dave went right to his teammates because they allowed Jimmer to be Jimmer, not just the coaches, but the players. And the players have to do that too, because sometimes you get guys get in the way and wait a second, I want my shots and blah, blah, blah. But they've got to get a handle from the Cleveland defensive perspective on Brunson. He cannot be able to just do what he wants out there. And clearly in the fourth quarter, he did what he wanted.
Muggsy Bogues and Spud Webb.
I don't think they were that good.
They weren't. They're much shorter also.
Yes, and way to go, guys. I mean, you defied the odds big time.
Yeah.
But I don't think they were all-stars. Brunson is an all-star. You can make the case that the Knicks go as he goes.
You can make that case.
Yeah.
And it'll be interesting to see, and series are about adjustments, and you got to try different things. And Oklahoma City tried something in game one, and it didn't work, and we were all scratching our heads by the middle of the second quarter. And they stuck with it, but then they went away from it. And okay, that didn't work, and now they tried something different, and Wembanyama had a very good game. But for them to win the series, does he have to be awesome 4 times?
Well, it's hard.
Right.
To reproduce what he did game one.
This is no way you expect another 40-20 game. And he goes 21 points on 50% shooting, 17 boards, 6 assists, 4 blocks. I mean, he had a very good game, but it wasn't enough.
That will get you in the hall.
He needs, for San Antonio to win right now, when they're missing Fox, when Harper's hurt, when Castle's turned it over 9 times. This is the whole youth thing about San Antonio. Castle might be different in 2 or 3 years when he's played more playoff games, and maybe he won't be in this role if other guys are healthy. They try somebody else in that role, but right now they're a little limited. I'm curious now, how did the Cavs adjust? Leaving Harden on Brunson didn't work. All right, try something else. What Oklahoma City tried in game 1 didn't work. They tried something else. It worked better in game 2. So series are about adjustments. What are they going to do?
I think that the Spurs are not a well-constructed team just yet. And what I mean by that is they've got Big Vic and then about 10 other guys to see to do the same thing. Now, they're good.
They're also the same age. And Pat Riley said a long time ago, you need 1/3 young, 1/3 prime, 1/3 older guys. They've got a lot of guys who are young, and you're right. There's a certain, because they didn't draft for need and because they were drafting high and they drafted the best player, there's a little skill set overlap. And maybe they wouldn't have.
They're all the same player.
Maybe they wouldn't have acquired Fox if they knew who they were going to draft in the next couple of drafts. But of course, you can't know that, so it worked out the way it did.
If they were playing a 6-6 and under league, they'd dominate.
Well, except they wouldn't get to use Wemby.
Right, but it seems like every one of those guys outside of Big Vic and the backup Cornette dude, but he's just a spot player. It seemed like they're all the same guys. They all got the same skill set. Yeah. They all do the same thing. And, it'll be interesting to see going forward if they make some moves there. I mean, you can go look at their roster, 6'5", 6'6",
Teams
6'5".
don't tend to stand pat, so I do think, to your point, that we'll see different sizes, different skill sets, and different experience levels because they're playing a lot of really young guys. It's impressive they've gotten this far as young as the team is, and part of that is because Wembanyama can just be unreal. Even in the 21-point, 17-rebound game, which we're treating that like it's not a big deal, where if a guy here did it, we'd be going nuts. But because he just went 40-20, it doesn't seem as spectacular. When he missed that shot and then immediately hit the floor and went back up and grabbed it and dunked it, and a couple possessions later missed a shot and went to the other side of the rim and tipped it in, and it's just not normal. There's nothing about that as normal. Those are 2 outstanding plays.
I mean, I don't understand why they're not playing Bismarck Biyombo more.
No, just stop with that.
The Montana kid. Right? Or how about Kelly O? Put KO in there,
Clinic, former Jazz man.
Yeah, he don't play.
He's over there high-fiving guys at timeouts.
Yeah, and good for him, man. He stayed in the league for a long time on being a good dude.
35 years old now.
Yeah.
So you stay in the NBA more than 10 years, we are impressed. We've always said that. At 35, he's clearly well past it.
But he's not playing. But you just look at all the guys, and they don't play Harrison Barnes that much either. But Carter Bryant, they play 6'6". Castle 6'6". The guy I call Champagne 6'7". Fox not playing right now 6'3". Harper 6'5". And then Keldon Johnson 6'5". They're all clones of one another. Yep. So they got one big player and a bunch of guards.
But if they find a 6'9" or 6'10" guy who can shoot, and maybe using Olynyk's money because he's a free agent, he's making $13 million, but this is the last year of his deal. Maybe that roster spot and that money.
Yeah,
someone his size who's younger.
Changes.
Yeah. But there is something to be said, positionless basketball, a bunch of interchangeable 6'6" guys.
Right, but I still think that's a hard way to go about it. Now, when Biama makes the thing work to the level that they've been able to make it work, because he's all that.
Yeah. And he's 22, and Harper's 20, and Castle's 21. And, they're playing a lot of young guys. Vassal's only 25.
And
Champagne
he's
is
6'5".
24. Yeah. So these are a whole lot of guys. Like, usually you get to your prime, you're 27 years old. But
Julian Champagne is 24?
Yeah, he's 24. So
how do you say his last name?
I think it's
Champagne.
Champagne, yes. Thank you.
I just call him Champagne.
I do like the Champagne name. That's fun.
They hope to be toasting here in 3 or 4 weeks.
They've got a lot of older guys who are in the last year of the deal. So
they sit the bench.
They do. So that makes me think, to your point, there's going to be a lot of roster spots available. There's going to be change. Maybe they bring 1 or 2 of them back. We'll see. But Harrison Barnes is 33 and a free agent.
He is.
The Clinic is 35 years old. Free agent. McLaughlin is 30 and a free agent.
The Clinic?
That's
it's Jake Scott.
That's
nickname.
Jake Scott. K. Olynyk.
Great, and both of you guys have never been to the Clinic.
Biombo is 33 and
I've
Plumlee
been to
is
the
36.
Clinic.
The Clinic.
Yeah.
Which clinic?
The health clinic where you don't have much money.
I've been to the clinic.
To interview people?
No, to get treated.
For what?
When I tore my ACL. And it was a bad experience, and I didn't go back.
Right. Well, you were a kid, not an adult.
Well, I was an adult, but
no, you weren't.
I was a youthful adult. I was in my 20s.
Right. You weren't even out of college.
I was out of college.
Your lifestyle was not out of college.
Grief, man. Anyway, to the point I was trying to make, they got 5 guys in their 30s who are free agents. They could let any or all of them go. It'll free up a bunch of money, probably close to $40 million. So to your point, you'll probably be sitting here next year saying, well, the Spurs didn't have player X a year ago, but they're going to have $40 million coming off the books. And they're going to have roster spots, and this team will look different. And all these guys who are 20, 21, 22 years old will have another year in the playoffs under the belt. The only question is, will they be the defending champs or not?
No. And the Jazz will beat him in the second round. Mark my words.
Mark my words. DJ and PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Summer is all about freedom, fun, and growing up. And between the ages of 9 and 13, kids are starting to form their views about alcohol. With more independence, their still developing brains need more guidance and support than ever. That's why summer is the perfect time to stay connected and plan fun, safe family activities together. Research shows kids who spend quality time with their parents doing what they enjoy are less likely to drink underage. And when kids feel close to you, they're more likely to listen, especially when you set clear expectations. In fact, kids who drink before 15 are far more likely to struggle with alcohol later. This summer, create a no-bummer summer with fun, alcohol-free activities for your kids. Go to summer.parentsempowered.org to take a quick quiz and discover ideas tailored to your family. A little time together can make a big difference. For more information and to learn more about how to prevent underage drinking, visit parentsempowered.org.